everybody, I would like to share with you my April favourites. I've got so many really amazing products actually that I've discovered or refound by going through a good old rummage and sort out of some things that I had piled up that I'd forgotten I had. So quite excited about this one. The first products I want to talk about are by Klorane, hair care. And funnily enough, this is a product, this is called a Camomile shampoo, and the conditioner is a conditioner with flax, a conditioning balm with flax fibre. I actually used to use this product with Camomile, this shampoo, about 30 years ago, before my blonde hair needed highlighting, when it was still naturally blonde. And it was amazing and I loved it, but I assumed that once you get really hardened, seasoned bleach in your hair, you need something that's a little bit stronger. And I had always assumed that this product would be almost too natural or would only really do the job for naturally blonde hair. So I was really pleasantly surprised. I used it. The scent is just amazing. It's really pure and fresh and slightly there's a sort of scent of honey, obviously chamomile as well, and the conditioning balm is lovely. It's more like a gel, so in actual fact I had to double check. I was in the shower and I was using it, I thought, oh god, have I put shampoo on, because it was a different consistency. But it is a conditioning balm and it's really, really lovely. So I quickly used these two to try and rough dried my hair, and was amazed at how silky and soft and reflective to the light it was. I'm now going to be hooked. So another product that I'd like to share with you, which was a really lovely discovery I'm really excited about, is an oil serum by a French brand called Semonin, Semonin, it's spelt, Precious Serum. It is available in Harrods, Space NK, Liberty, and I think online as well. I'll put a link below. It is a stunningly rich, beautiful serum that smells really, really beautiful. I'm a great believer in the power of scent. I think that if something smells beautiful, then it's more enjoyable actually rubbing it in and using it. It's very oily, so only for dry, aging skin. It does what it says on the bottle. It really does renew and reinvigorate and moisturise. I love oils, always have. I've always used oils. Even when I was much younger, in my 20s, my skin is dry and it needed oils. I just use more of them now and in a higher quantity. Some people don't like using oils. Dry type oil also works for combination and oily skins. So don't be put off by the heavy richness of this oil. Another tip as well, with any serum, oil or whatever, we're always told to avoid the eye area. I take absolutely no notice of that. I've always used serums and oils around the eye socket, not as much as I might do on the rest of the face, but I don't understand why we shouldn't, because the eye area ages the fastest. The skin is really thin and it needs the anti-aging, antioxidants and all of the super potent powers that these things can do. So I see no reason not to use it on the eye area. So now to a cosmetic product which is really lovely. It is by a brand called Too Faced, T-O-O Faced, and it's called Milk Chocolate Soleil. It's a matte bronzer with quite a pale colour, hence the milk chocolate. There's no gleam or glitter in it at all. It's a really lovely matte, quite pale colour for this skin tone, and even darker skin tones would be lovely. It doesn't give a very bronzed look, but it stays away from that blusher, pink blush look, which is probably more of a colour that you'd want to use in the winter. So now it's getting to spring, the sun's coming out. This is an absolute favourite. I've started using it every day and I think it's incredible. It's, as I said, matte. Now, although it's matte, I'm a real believer in highlighters and highlighting the cheekbone area. This is by Sephora and it's called Rose Pink, and it's a highlighting compact, illuminating. This does have gleam but not too much glitter. a little goes a long way, so when you put some on the brush, I would sort of dab it off so to get rid of the excess and brush it over just on that top part of the cheekbone. So when you turn and the light hits your face, you look illuminated and glowing, even if you're not. So to talk about illuminated and glowing, this is a real favourite of mine. It's by LMS, it's called the Pro Radiance Illuminating Flash Balm. I will use this for my skin if it needs a boost in the evening. So if I've had a day of SPF or tinted moisturiser or nothing on my face and I'm then going out, I will put a layer of this. It's like the Klorane's Beauty Flash Balm, which, much as I love Klorane's, has never really been a great favourite of mine because it's never felt quite moisturising enough. This feels really lovely and rich, and it does plump up the skin, and products sink in beautifully on the top and don't glide off or wash off. So it's almost as if you've had a little bit of a boost or a rest. It makes your skin look amazing. I'm not a great user of other LMS products particularly, but I would highly recommend this. It's seriously good, it does the job. Another fun little product which I've come across, which has become something that's just stuck in my makeup bag and I'm using every day, is by Givenchy, and it's called Mr. Perfect, and it is a corrector. So it has a correcting fluid with a little felt tip. You've got replacement felt tips at the end here, so when there's too much product and makeup, you just take it off, throw it in the bin and replace it with a new one. So if you're getting mascara, I've got quite a heavy brow bone, and when I put mascara on I often find it transfers, so you can just wipe it off. If anything dips down under here, sometimes when you put your powder eyeshadow on, it will fall onto this part of your cheekbone. You can quickly get it off. Otherwise it's doing the old-fashioned way of dipping a cotton bud into some eye makeup remover. But this works perfectly. Also around the lips, if you've overdone the lip line or whatever, any little touch-ups, any little corrections that need to be made, this is an amazing product. So two more new products that I've tried, which are new from the French brand Guerlain. Abeille Royale, the range is a bee product, bee derivative, so royal jelly and honey. They smell divine. This is a daily repair serum which I've been using, and I've been using in the morning a couple of pumps of this mixed in with an oil as well, any oil that I happen to be using. I'll go into that in another video. But for me it's not quite enough just on its own, but for less demanding skins or younger skins I'm sure it would be enough. The day cream that goes with it is the same name, Abeille Royale. This is for normal to dry skin, but they do one for a combination oily as well. The scent is absolutely divine. It feels very rich. You don't need an awful lot, and it really seems to give a veil across the skin. It's firming and anti-aging and regenerating, supposedly, and certainly I have to say I've seen a really lovely improvement since I've been using it, and my skin's comfortable with it. It doesn't seem to need something else on the top. Okay, so this is an interesting one. In going through some of my products and clearing out, I came across this product by Tarte, the American brand, and it's called the Gifted Amazonian Clay Mascara. Packaging is not really the prettiest, it's a bit wooden, and I would normally like something a bit more glossy. So perhaps I might not even pick this up in a shop just because of the packaging. But my God, I was amazed. I tried it and it's like one of these super volumizing, super false lash effect type mascaras, even though it doesn't call itself that. I checked out the properties of it, and it has conditioning properties for the lashes, which is a great thing. If you know that you're getting some colour and some boost and the lashes are being conditioned, then why not? So my last, which really is an old favourite rediscovered, it is again by Guerlain. It's called Midnight Secret. I think it's been around for a good 25 or 30 years. I used to steal my mother's. It's a product that you're supposed to use when you know that you're going to have very little sleep. So when you have a late night and you're not going to be able to recoup those hours of sleep, you pop it on. And funnily enough, the reason I'm going to show you this today is I had about 3.5 hours sleep last night. I got in at 1, didn't go to sleep till 2, and I was awake by 5 because I can't sleep in. The formulation I think has changed because it feels more moisturising now than the old one. And what Guerlain have done quite cleverly is they have, although you can still buy the large proper sizes of this, they do a little small one which is enough to, maybe you don't want a whole tube which would last you a couple of years if you don't use it very often. So if this is a sort of quick fix, this is probably enough. You're not going to be using it every night. Smells amazing. It's got all this lovely, I think, lavender smell. It's really amazing. So I used this last night and I did wake up and look as if I had had 8 hours sleep, and I hadn't. So that's the reason that I decided to include this today, because I thought if anything's a miracle, this is. So I've done my April favourites today. I hope you've enjoyed them. Please give me feedback and let me know. If you're enjoying the channel, please subscribe. One thing I thought I'd start to share with you at the end of each video is a completely unrelated tip. I'm often asked by friends all sorts of things, from exercise to skincare to beauty regime to lifestyle, and this is something that I've been a great believer of for many years, and it's something I do myself. So when people ask me about exercise, I don't do very much, and maybe we'll discuss that in another video. However, what I do is, many years ago, about 20 years ago, I did a short stint of exercise classes by the particular branding name of it was called New York City Ballet, and it was all very much the whole exercise in this core area. And I didn't do it for very long because life got very busy and I couldn't carry on doing these classes. But what I did learn and what I did take away from it, which became part of my everyday routine, was holding your core muscles in. And this is something I do when I get into a car and I drive, or when I'm walking the dog, when I am cooking, standing, dancing, moving. I will imaginarily tuck in, suck in actually, my tummy button, imagining it's literally sucking into my spine, lift my spine up and my shoulders up, and shoulders back, chin up. You add inches, you get more stature, posture, great for posture and poise, and this whole area is actually working while you're not even realising that you're doing it. And I do it now without even thinking. I mention it to people all the time. Sometimes people say, oh my god, yes, I've realised I'm doing it all the time now without thinking. And if you're subtly actually always working those muscles, then maybe you don't have to spend 5 minutes twice a week doing crunches, which I find quite painful and always really hurts. But if you always engage your core, you will have better posture, you will have better abdominal muscles and control, and actually it helps with general poise as well, and you can give yourself better stature, and be more proud, more fierce, and generally just carry yourself better. Hope that's been useful, and do subscribe please, and see you soon.